In this video, we'll be discussing the properties of rhombus. The side-related properties of rhombus is all sides equal. This is how we label it in the dummy. Opposite sides parallel. As both pair of opposite side is parallel, so the one pair should have the same kind of arrow and the other pair which is parallel should have the same kind of arrows. Angle related property, opposite angles are equal. So these two are equal, they have the same labeling, and this pair is also equal, so they have some other type of labeling. Okay. Adjacent angles sum up to 180 degree. These two are called adjacent angle, they sum up to 180. So one of them can be called as x, and as their sum is 180, the other one can be called 180 minus x. These two are also adjacent. So if it is x, this is gonna be 180 minus x. Got it? So this is how you can label adjacent angles in any figure in which they sum up to 180. Now diagonal related properties. Diagonals bisect each other in a rhombus. This is how we can label it. This diagonal bisects this one. So these two parts are equal, and because of drawing of this diagonal seems to be broken down into two parts, as those are also equal, so I have labeled them so. Diagonals bisect vertex angles. Here we have a diagonal and it's emerging from this vertex. So when it is emerging from this vertex, so it's dividing this full angle into two parts, and those are equal, that's why I have labeled it like this. This diagonal also bisect these two angles, so you can also label them. You can also label them anyhow. You can call them both. They are gonna be equal. This is what I mean, diagonal bisect the vertex angle. Diagonals meet at 90 degree. The diagonals meet at the center of the quadrilateral at some point. And in rhombus they meet at 90 degree. Means the four angles formed here are 90 degree each. One of the property which is not the property of rhombus, but you must remember diagonals are not equal in a rhombus. Anyway, I've taught you how to learn the properties of quadrilateral. Now we will use these properties of rhombus to solve this sum. Here we have a sum where you have to construct a rhombus, skit where SI is 7 centimeter and angle A is 80. Let's call it. It's not 180, it's 80 degree. This was your classwork question today. So whenever you get a question like this, first of all you have to draw the dummy. Okay, so let's draw the dummy for this. So a dummy, as it is a rhombus, I'll try to draw a dummy whose all sides are equal. Okay, so first of all, it's a rhombus and its name is skit. So many of you are making this mistake. You have been explained many times. You may start from anywhere. You can start from here, S. So either K should be here or it should be here. Okay, if it is here, then S, K, here should be I and here should be T. So you can label S anywhere, and from there you can follow either anti-clockwise order or you can follow clockwise order. It could be S, K, I, T, or it could be S, K, I, T. Anyways, okay, now after labeling the vertices properly, you have to label the measures. SI is 7. The side was not given 7. You were given this as the 7 centimeter. Okay, then you have angle K equals to 180 degree. That means this angle was 80 degrees. This was given as 80 degree. These two measures you were given, and you were supposed to make this picture. You were supposed to construct this rhombus. Now if you're not labeling the picture like SKIT, you're labeling it like SKIT, your sum is gonna be wrong. So first thing which you have to keep in mind when you start naming, name should follow clockwise or anti-clockwise order. SKIT, or it could be SKIT. Don't go randomly anywhere. Okay. Second thing, you must label, if it is a diagonal, make it as a diagonal. I have written SI. So SI is 7. Many of you were labeling this as 7. This is not 7. Now, you know, for constructing a quadrilateral, we need 5 measures, not 2. So what are we going to do? We are going to switch into pencil, okay, and we are going to fill up rest of the measures by using the properties of rhombus. Okay, so side related properties of rhombus, we can go, let's see, all sides equal. All sides equal, that means all of them are equal. But do you know their measures? So we don't have the measure of sides, so we cannot label anything here. Okay, you cannot label it 7. Diagonal is not equal to the side. It's not the property. It's not mentioned anywhere. So you cannot. These sides are not 7, and you don't have any reason to call them 7. Let's go to the next. Opposite sides are parallel. Yes, the opposite sides are parallel. So you can label it. This is parallel to this, and this is parallel to this. Okay, chalo, we can label this also, that they all are equal. We have put the sign of equality also and parallelism also. Now next, opposite angles are equal. So in this picture, one of the angle is 80 and the angle opposite to it is also 80. So opposite angles are equal. We have labeled it. Now adjacent angles sum up to 180 degree. If this is x, this is gonna be 180 minus x. So in the picture, if this is 80, so this full angle is gonna be 100. And if this is 80, the angle adjacent to this is also this, or angle adjacent to this is also this. So if this is 80, this is gonna be 180 minus 80. Means the sum of all pairs should be 180. So obviously now the sum is 180. The sum of these two adjacent angles 180. The sum of these two is 180, and the sum of these two is 180. So we have used these properties. Now move to diagonal rated properties, and our first property is diagonal bisect each other. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's do it. Diagonal bisect each other. So both the diagonals bisect each other. Let's draw the another diagonal. Okay, so here we have the diagonal. Okay, so as this was 7 and the diagonals are meeting at this point, that means this part here, okay, this part here is 3.5 and the part here is also 3.5. Okay, now here I want to tell you one thing. Diagonals are not equal. So if this is 7, you don't have any reason to call it 7. This one is not 7. You cannot call it 7. So if somebody has done it, that's gonna be wrong. Okay, now let's move to the next property. Okay, diagonals bisect the vertex angle. So many of you missed out this. Okay, diagonals bisect the vertex angle. Here is a diagonal. Okay, what is it bisecting? It is bisecting I angle. Means it's dividing this full angle into two parts. For what did you get to know? That this angle here, let me label it with some other color, some other prominent color. Let me take it yellow. So this angle here is 50 degrees. Okay, and this angle here is also 50 degrees. Similarly, this is 50 and that is 50. Because this was 100, so the two equal parts are 100. This is what I mean by diagonals bisect the vertex angles. Similarly, how much is this angle? 40 degree. And this angle is also 40 degree. This is 40 and this is also 40. Now you have too many measures in this picture and you can easily complete your rhombus. Okay, so I'm writing steps now how to construct it. But before that, I just forgot to label one more property, that is diagonals meet at 90 degree. So diagonals meet at 90 degree means this angle is 90, this is 90, this angle is 90 and that is 90. ये भी आपके पास measures हैं. So there are too many measures now. Now let's write down the steps now. I'm calling this point O. First of all, you can draw IS equals to 7 centimeter, and the moment you'll draw it, you'll get I and S in the scene. So you got this vertex and you also got that vertex. Now you have to find out T and K. Let's focus on T. How can we get T? You have too many measures to reach T. From S and from I. From S, you can draw this angle as 50 degree because you have drawn IS, and at S point you can draw 50 degree, and here also 50 degree, and where they will meet, there you'll get T. Okay, so this is your IS. If you draw 50 here and 50 here, where they will meet, that's gonna be T. This is gonna be 7 centimeter. This is 50. That is 50, and you will get your T. So you have two measures to reach the third vertex, which is, and how to call, what to name this angle? Let's call it TSI by 3 letters. TSI equals to 50 degrees, and the second ITS. ITS. So this is also 50 degree, and both of these angles together will give you vertex T. Similarly, here in this picture, you can draw 50 and 50 on the other side. You can draw 50 here because this angle is also 50. This angle is also 50. So you can either draw 50-50 or you can pick up this measure जो आप construct कर चुके होंगे. Okay. So anyways, you have drawn IS, you got T. Now TS is equals to SK. So you can pick up this measure also from here. So the third step could be either OSK equals to 50 degree, okay, and SIK equals to 50 degrees, okay. So you'll get this angle, and then you'll get K. So this is your first step. Sorry. This is your second step. This is your third step. Okay. So I've just told you one of the steps, but you have too many measures. You can plan out something else also. So this is how you can construct, if you have only given 2 measures, but by using the properties, you can create more measures, and then you can use those measures to complete the construction. But for that, what you must know the properties of quadrilaterals. So as I've listed all the properties of rhombus here, you should be able to recall all the properties of every quadrilateral. Only then you will be able to use those measures to complete your dummy, and then use the dummy to write down the steps, and then use the steps to finish your construction.